talking about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030, I would like to say that these goals are really well structured and it has a panoramic vision in order to create a better sustainable world with more benefits and less risk factors. However, every country, every organization have different kind of needs based on their conflicts, demographic factors, and geographical locations. So, if the United Nations could prioritize what each country needs and prioritize it in sportive way, I think these United Nations Sustainable Development Goals will be able to achieve in shorter time. In order to bring successful to these goals, I think it is not only the responsible of the policy makers, not only the responsible of the third-party organization, it is also the responsibility of every stakeholders which are involved in certain kind of development goals. As I mentioned before, a country and the organization needs to prioritize its biggest needs and the possible risk factors. By identifying those risk factors, an organization needs to consider which sustainable development goals will be the cure for their possible risk factors and the problem that they currently face in. I would like to give an example with my country, Myanmar. Myanmar has the biggest diversity issues in the world. As though it is a small country, it consists of 135 tribes. The misunderstanding outbreaks between each tribe is still occurring during these days, till now. So, no wonder why the civil war is still going on in Myanmar. So I think if I have a responsible role of the manager, I will create a unity within the diversity in the workplace first, and then I will educate my followers that no one is superior due to their race, their religions, and everything. It is just a person, how they react and how they bring benefit to the society. I will educate them like that and bring a perfect and unity workplace which respect the diversity of each individual and the culture. To talk about the time when I demonstrated my leadership skills, I would like to talk about the incident that happened to me last 2 years ago. At that time, I was studying at the Victoria University College, which is a private university in my home city. I was a leader of a certain group for assessment for the university. At the time, one of my teammates couldn't focus on the schoolwork as she was already busy with her internship programs, and also she was having a kind of mental breakdown due to her family conflicts. So it is fair that she couldn't focus on the university work, but however, I encourage her and I motivate her that no matter how hard or how difficult the life is, we still have to prioritize what we should do. So I told her like that, and she seems a bit okay compared to her previous emotional stage. and she could focus on the school works again. To describe about a situation that I solved as a team member, I would like to say that I used to work as an administrative assistant at the public transportation company. At that time, the direction sign of the head office of the company that I was working was bigger than 3 feet. One day, a government staff came in and informed us that our direction sign was big enough to be an advertisement, so they also explained us that it is eligible to ask for an extra desk since it is big enough for the advertisement. So, as the most responsible person, me and my manager went to the government office and negotiate with some government people. At the same time, we delegated the task to our subordinates so that at that time they were fixing the size of the direction sign at the same time. So, however, the thing went really smooth as thanks to the understanding of the government people that we negotiated. They said that such kind of things happen and it is okay, and they didn't ask for the extra tax, but they told us that they will come and see it again as an inspection in 3 days. After 3 days, we somehow managed to fix the direction sign in 3 days, and it worked well, and we didn't have to pay extra taxation for it. If I had a chance, or if I had a similar problems, what I will do is that I will learn about the legal issues on something that I'm going to do as an organization before the government people come and inform us. From my personal point of view, 3 characteristics that a successful manager should possess are that responsibility. I describe it as the most important, as being a responsible manager is really important in an organization. He must be responsible not only for himself, for his subordinates, for his employers, and for his organization as well. Talking about the responsibility, delegation is also the important characteristic that a successful manager should have, as managers need to delegate their responsibility. In other words, managers have to delegate the task, which person belongs to which task, which person is responsible for which task. By dividing them, by delegating the task, everything will become smooth and the workplace will become more efficient physically and mentally. That top characteristic that a manager should possess is that organization skills. If a manager is not well organized, then his fellow team members will not be organized as well. So it is a really important thing to be a standard role manager to the subordinates. With my current skills, experience and knowledge, I would like to say that I'm quite close enough with the skills that I mentioned as 3 top characteristics that a manager should possess.